So you may have questions that what are the real enablers to this entire exercise of recycling, and why would it start getting picked up, this plastic waste, the littered plastic waste, uh, when it has not been picked up in so many years. And we see that all around us in the small towns, villages, and the cities, the whole wasted landfills full of plastics, and rivers like Ganges in top 10 plastic producing and plastic containing rivers in the world, and all the great Pacific plastic patch, the huge amount of island that has been created to the size of a continent, with full of plastics floating around in the ocean. Why today all this suddenly will start coming back? Why? No, this could be a question in your mind. What are the enablers? What has changed? What has made it very attractive for recycled plastics to become an industry? How does the entire thing start working now? What has galvanized it? It's an important question, and I wish to definitely answer that for you. It's important to know that there is so much of governmental push, and there is so much of legislation which is coming this way to really support this entire circularity and compliance conformance by industries. So, number one reason for the plastics to come back is something called Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016 and 2018, which has now bound the companies which are using plastics which have short shelf life, maybe few months, few use, one time use, single use, to bring that plastics back from the environment. Bring it back after it has been consumed by the host consumer. Once it's consumed, post that consumption, that plastic is supposed to be retrieved back by the same very companies which are supposed to, or actually putting out such plastics in the market. So, for example, you take a packet of chips. So, you have consumed a packet of chips as a consumer, but the company which has produced that chips packet is now liable, bound under the plastic waste rules to bring that plastics back from you into the recycling chain, or back into creating value, basically retrieving it back from the environment. That is the responsibility, a compliance, a conformance requirement, a legal requirement for those companies which are producing, importing, and own such brands through which we consume. There are multiple brands, so you can be taking chips from 5 different companies, and those companies are liable. So it's not just chips packets, it's all over, it's everywhere. Every company which is producing or having plastics packaging is responsible, liable to bring the plastics back. This has come in India. India is one of those countries, around 220 countries in the world, but India is probably one of those dozen countries only which has put a progressive regulation like this in 2016, and then it has been tightened in 2018. It's a very big deal. It's a very, very big deal. So it's important for us to get reminded of this. It's good that such a push has come, because then there will be an industry which will actually support. These industries are called intermediaries, it's called producer responsibility organization, PROs, and various municipalities also will come back and support these companies in pulling back their plastic waste. And why would they do so? Because there is a business now. Because compliance is an important business. Without compliance, there is no business, especially for the brands of reputation, multinational, Indian, or any other. In India, if you import or if you produce any brand which has plastics in form of packaging, or packaging in form of plastics, you have to comply to as per regulation, as per law, to bring that plastics back. This is one of the very big reasons, and there is more, but this is the main one, which is going to create a complete momentum, a circularity in terms of retrieving the plastics back. So, no, this is good direction from the present government, and this has come in their last regime, and I really credit that to the Niti Aayog and the Ministry of Environment and Forest to actually put out such a